to your mat work class with me. We are going to be starting on our back, so making sure you have your mat laid out. You don't need any equipment for this class, but if you would like to add a small loop resistance band to some of your leg work today, you can, but it is totally optional, okay? So if you don't have that, go and grab that, or when we have a break later on in the class, you can quickly duck off and grab it. Let's start on our back. So slowly make your way all the way down. You can bring one or both knees with you. I just want you to give yourself a nice big hug. As I said, with one leg or both legs to start off with. You just want to lengthen through your lower back. You just want to gently release any tension we might be holding there. You can rock from side to side. We just want to gradually lift that tailbone up off the mat, hugging the knees in as much as you can. You can take the legs a little bit wider towards the armpits if you like. Single or double, doesn't matter. You can draw some little circles. 3 one way and then 3 that opposite way. Taking one leg nice and long if you haven't already. Hugging that one knee in towards your armpit. Taking it out to the side a little bit further. Swap those legs over. Just moving however feels nice for you today. Hugging both knees back in for me, trying to pull them towards your armpits. Let's make those circles a little bit bigger now. Remembering to tuck your knees in enough that that tailbone lifts up. Switching directions. Good, lucky last big hug, and we are going to meet with both feet planted down onto your mat. We are just going to go into an exercise called lift foot. I just want to connect our breathing with our movement because we want to focus on our breath this class. So what I'm going to get you to do is take a nice big inhale breath, fill up the belly, fill up the rib cage, and then as you exhale, the rib cage closes in and down. Our lower abdominals draw in and we have a slight lift of our pelvic floor. So that small little contraction where you're going to stop yourself from going to the bathroom. Take a nice big inhale breath. Exhale, lift that foot up off the mat for me to tabletop position. And then resting it back down. Another big inhale breath. Exhale, belly button in, pelvic floor lifts, foot lifts. Good, inhale to lower. Just going to continue to swap sides. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Beautiful. Obviously not a challenging exercise for some people. We just want to make sure our tailbone is nice and steady onto the mat. Only moving as quick as you are inhaling and exhaling. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Rock those legs from side to side. And let's progress. So we're going to go into tabletop position from here. So inhale, lift one leg up to tabletop position. Exhale, belly button in. Lift that other leg to tabletop. You can have your hands by your sides or you can pop them behind the back of your head if you like. We're going to go into a toe tap. So we're tapping one foot down onto the mat and lift. Tap the other toe and lift. Good. Noticing here that my knee is staying bent at roughly 90 degrees and I'm reaching to tap that toe. So the movement is coming from the hip. We don't want to bend the knee and be tapping our toes down just right behind our hips there. I want to make sure that hip is reaching and allowing that toe to tap while keeping that 90-degree bend. Good. We really challenge our lower abdominals as our leg moves away from the body. So we just want to focus here on exhaling that belly button down towards our spine, keeping our nice natural arch in our lower back as we tap the toe down. Beautiful. Making sure those knees stay stacked above the hips. We don't want to bring the knees too close in towards the chest. That's when we start to really lift through the tailbone and take away from our lower abdominals. Good. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower one foot, lower the other foot, and you can rock those hips from side to side again if you like. Placing your hands behind the back of your head, we're going to leave our feet onto the mat and go into an abdominal curl next. So we inhale to prepare, we fill up our belly with air, and as we exhale, we bring our ribs in and down towards ourselves, and we curl our upper body up, shoulder blades off the mat. Inhale to relax back down. Inhale, exhale to curl. Inhale to lower. Exhale to curl. Beautiful. We keep our shoulder blades relaxed down and back. We keep our chin tucked in. We make sure all that work is coming from our abdominals to curl us up. Just take it nice and slow. Just really encourage those deeper breaths. Exhale, see how high you can curl up. Inhale to relax back down. Good. We really want to make sure that we can relax on that inhale breath, let all that air in. It'll stop that bracing pattern going on where you try to just tense and hold on to the abdominals. You want to relax as you lower back down, just so you can get a stronger contraction on the way back up. But you use that inhale breath as a reset. So you relax all the deep tummy muscles. So that way when you exhale, you can draw in and down and just stop any of that doming happening. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Nice, let's curl up a little bit higher. Last 3. Good, last 2. Lucky last 1. And lowering down, beautiful. We are going to meet with our legs back in tabletop position. So we inhale, lift one leg, exhale, lift the other leg. Perfect. Now we're going to go into our abdominal curl and hold. So inhale to prepare, exhale to curl up. Nice. From here, we're going to do our toe taps and we're going to combine it with an oblique twist. So as one toe taps down, I'm going to rotate towards that leg in tabletop position. Come back to the center as that leg lifts. Other side, tap and twist, back to the center. Tap and twist. Back to the center. Good. So from here, I'll give you a few options. You can stay lifted from side to side and through the center. So I'm not lowering out of my ab curl. I'm staying up and I'm twisting. Option 2 is to twist one way, hold back to the center, twist the other way. When you're back in the center, you can lower down for a little break, curl up, twist again from side to side before lowering down. Option number 3 is you rest between each curl. That way you can rest as long as you need to between each repetition, and you're picking a level of difficulty that suits you. Good. Exhale to rotate. Inhale to come back to the center. Exhale to rotate. I like to keep my elbows nice and wide, aiming to get that upper arm down onto the mat just to ensure that I've rotated around enough. Good. Last two. Center, twist, center, lower out of the curl, and lower one foot at a time, rocking those hips from side to side. Well done. Hopefully that woke up your abdominals. I'm definitely feeling mine now. We're going to do a little bit more abdominal work before we move on to our lower body. So let's come up to a seated position for me, please. We're going to be sitting up nice and tall onto our sit bones, and my legs are bent in front of me, hip distance apart. I'm going to aim to anchor my heels down onto the mat, okay, for this entire exercise if you can. Reaching your hands forward for me. What I want you to do now is we're going to scoop the belly. So really think about drawing your belly button in towards your spine, and you're going to be tucking your tailbone under. The way we keep our upper spine nice and rounded is we're going to be reaching through our fingertips the whole time, okay? We're going to keep rolling back now, keeping that belly button scooped until you get to a sticky point where your abs really have to work quite hard to keep you in this position. Then we exhale, reach through the fingertips, scoop the belly and sit all the way back up straight onto those sit bones. We'll go again. Scoop the belly button in, tailbone tucks under, reach through the fingertips as you start to roll back. Abdominals really kick in. We scoop our belly button in more, reach through the fingertips, exhale to curl up. Nice. I'll leave you at your own pace. Scoop the belly, rolling back only as far as you need until those abdominals start to let you know they're there. Reaching through the fingertips to come back up to that seated position. So we're really making sure we go from that scooped and rounded position as we're rolling back, keeping our abdominals engaged, to a really straight position when we're sitting up nice and tall. Use that exhale breath to curl up. Good, rolling back. Nice and slowly maintain that control. Keep those heels onto the mat if you can. Doesn't matter how far you roll back. Nice. Two more for me, please. Scoop that belly. Tuck that tailbone. Reach for the fingertips down towards the toes. Exhale. Good. Last one. Rolling back. Nicely done. Good. Relax those knees out to the side, and you can reach forward if you like, rounding through that back. Excellent. We're going to continue to progress that movement. So our ab rollbacks is going to be the foundation. So bring those legs back to that bent position out in front of you, hip distance apart. Arms reach forward. We're going to scoop the belly and roll back now to a position that you can maintain. I want you to keep drawing that belly button in. Keep drawing the ribs down towards the hip bones. That's the secret, reaching forward, keeping those abdominals nice and tight. We're going to march the legs. So one foot will lift, place back down, other foot lifts and lowers. We're just alternating here. Bringing the legs up to that tabletop position. Good. Nice steady breathing here. Reach those fingertips for the toes. Nice slow little march. Try not to straighten that spine. Keep that curved shape. Good. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Exhale, curl yourself back up. Good. Relax the knees out to the side. A little bend forward. How are those abs feeling? Alrighty, we're going to keep progressing here. We're going to try for a roll back all the way down onto our mat. So see how you go with it. just give it a go. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it's something that we can work towards, okay? If you're really not feeling it, just stick with your rollbacks with one leg lifted. That's where we're heading, okay? So we're gonna start with a normal rollback. Both legs are on the mat. Scoop the belly and start to roll back. Good. Lifting one leg up to tabletop position. From here, give it a go. We start to roll ourselves all the way down onto our mat. Arms up towards the ceiling. Keep that leg lifted. We'll use it as we curl back up. So exhale, ribs to hips, chin tucks in, curl yourself all the way back up, and you can place that foot down. Let's do the other side. Roll back first, leg will lift, act like a counterbalance. Whew. It's not strict to keep that leg in tabletop. Place it wherever you need to help yourself up and down. Good. One more each side for me. Lift, roll back. Oh, arms reach for the ceiling. Good. Take a nice big inhale breath to prepare. Exhale, belly button in, curling up. Whew. Other side. Roll back and lift. Place one vertebrae down at a time. Make sure that's nice and controlled for me. Exhale, curling all the way back up. Place the feet down, knees out to the side, and reaching forward. And have one more variation in this position for us. We can choose to keep our feet down if it ever gets too much, but I'll talk you through it, okay? Back to that starting position that we're used to. We scoop the belly, we roll back to a position we can maintain here. We're going to lift one leg up, lift the other leg up, okay? See if you can maintain this hold, this low boat hold. I want you to relax the shoulder blades down and back, still reaching for the toes because we like this curved position in the spine so we can sit on our sit bones. If you like, you can grab onto the legs just for a little bit of extra support. You may even want to try straighten both legs out. See how you go with the balance. You may want to release the back of the legs. Nice. It is a lot easier with them bent if you want to keep your balance. We're going to hold for another 20 seconds. For anyone who wants to add a little bit of extra challenge, we're going to go into a bow and arrow arm. So from here, if you want to just keep the hold, that is totally fine. If you want to give the bow and arrow a go, you can place your feet down onto the mat for some added support, okay? Let's give it a go. We're going to slide one hand back behind us, like we're pulling back a bow and arrow. Reach it forward. Other side. Pull that arrow back, reaching forward. From here, round that belly again, scoop the belly. Good. One more each side, bow and arrow, lift, bow and arrow, straighten, and relaxing. Legs go out to the side again, reaching forward. Well done. Should be super proud. They're quite advanced exercises that progress to our teaser, which we'll get to one day. Whew. Taking a little break if you need to. We are going to come lie down onto our hip now. I'm going to give our abs a little bit of a break, just a mini break, and we come lie down onto our hip. We are going to do some work to warm up this top glute. So before we get started, we sort out our alignment. So I want you to slide this top leg forward so the knees are stacked and make sure that hip is lifted just so we can lengthen through this underside waist. Good. Once you are there, we're just going to kick up into a clam position and then straighten the leg out nice and long. Good. This is where we'll be for our side lying series. We're just going to start with some little pulses. So we just want to drop the leg down in line with the hip. Exhale, lift it back up. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lifting up. Good. So working into the side of the glute here. One of our hip stabilizers. Inhale, exhale. Good. When we have our body in one long line, we can really focus on lengthening through the front. So we want to lift up through the belly button, lengthen through the side of the waist, lengthen through the front of this hip, And make sure we're working really hard through this top glute to keep that leg back in line with our body. Good, we're here for 3, for 2, last one. You can rest that leg down. All right, that's what we're gonna maintain for the next exercise, which is rectangles, all right? So kick up into a clam, straighten the leg out nice and long, back to where you were. Perfect. I'm going to get you to drop the leg in line with the hip. That's where we want to start. We're going to exhale, lift, sweep the leg forward, drop the leg down in line with the hip, and then sweep it back. That's when you get to really squeeze your butt cheek. Good. We lift up, reach forward, drop down, and sweep it back to that starting position. Up, forward, down and back. Good. Up, forward, down, sweep it back. Good. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Excellent. Just like you're tracing a rectangle shape with your big toe, keeping that leg no lower than hip height. Good. These start to get a little bit tough. Rest in between if you need to. Let's do 2 more together. We lift up, we sweep forward, we drop down, and we sweep back. Good. Last one. Lift up, sweep forward, drop down, sweep it back. Good. Hold with me if you can. Rest now just for a few seconds and meet us back in this straight position. We're going to bend our knee forward towards our chest. Flex your foot, press it out and away, back in line with the body. Good. 3 more. Bring it in, flex, press. Good. Bend, flex, press. Last one. Bend, flex, press, and relax that leg down. Beautiful. Give it a little stretch. We're just going to bring the heel in front of that knee. Relax through the hip first and then lift it up and away. Should be a nice little stretch for you. Just a mini break. We're going to do some side plank work next. So bringing a little bit more core work back into it. We are going to be onto our elbow, okay? So come up onto that elbow, making sure the forearm is as flat onto the mat as possible. And you want to make sure your elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. So you don't want it to be too far away from you. You also don't want to bring it too close in towards you either. So just finding that happy medium, could be a bit picky. Alrighty. From here, I like to make sure that my elbow, my hips, and my ankles are in one long line, so your knees are out in front of you and we're pressing up onto them. To make sure that our shoulder is nice and safe today, what I'm going to get you to do is keep pressing that elbow into the mat and we're lifting our rib cage up and away from the mat as well, okay? So that makes sure that the shoulder can be in the best position to work properly. So pressing the ribs up and away and setting that first. Excellent. From here, lift the hips up towards the ceiling and then push them forward so you're in one long straight line now. So if you look down, your hips should be as straight as they possibly can, squeezing our butt cheeks and using every little muscle we can to lift this side up and away from the mat at all times. As soon as you let the ribs drop, you start to sink into the shoulder. It puts a lot of pressure. So keep lifting the ribs up and away. That'll make sure the shoulder can do what it needs to do. From here, you can just hold your side plank. Otherwise, ankles stay together. We're going to 5 little clams. We open the top knee, we close, open, close. Good. Exhale, inhale. 2 more. Keep lifting up and away. Last one. Good. 3 little lift and lowers now. So fold the hips back, lower the hips down. We come up and forward, hold, back and down. Good. 1 more. Up and forward, back and down. Nicely done. Rolling onto your back for me, please. Actually, if you have your little resistance band, this is where you might want to add it on. So we're just going to pop both legs through, pop the resistance band just above your knees for me, and come back down onto your back. Before we go over to the other side, just want to go into some glute bridges, all right? So bring your heels nice and close in towards your bottom. Arms can just be relaxed by your side. Upper body's nice and relaxed, all right? We're going to press our knees out. Even if you don't have the band, you want to always imagine that you're pressing out against something. You want to draw your belly button in, squeeze both your butt cheeks, and slowly start to lift the hips and peel the spine up off the mat. See if you can lift all the way up onto your shoulder blades without arching through that lower back. So we just want to make sure the glutes are squeezing and they're going to propel the hips up. Our job here is to keep our ribs tucked in and down towards us, just to make sure our spine is nice and safe in this position. Our arches of our feet are lifted and we're pressing out either into our band or as if we did have a band around our knees. And then from here, we're going to go into some little pulses. So your glutes are just going to squeeze a little bit more to press up, a little lower, squeeze and press. Good. Keep that rib cage in and down. Little presses here. We're going for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, press up. Slowly roll that spine all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. When you're at the bottom, you reset. Belly button draws in, glutes squeeze. Press the knees out, lift the hips, roll the spine up. Pressing up as high as you can. Check in with those ribs. Hold, slowly roll all the way back down. Nice. 2 more just like that, moving super slow. Tuck, peel, lift those hips up as much as you can. Good. Those glutes are doing all the work, all right? At the top, slowly lower all the way back down. Place that spine slowly onto the mat. Tailbone's the last thing to touch. As promised, last one. Tuck, lift. Good. Got our little pulses again at the top. Option just to hold. We fold at the hips just a little bit. Squeeze those glutes. Good. Press those knees out to the side of the room. Beautiful. We're here for 3, 2, last one. And slowly lower all the way back down. Nicely done. Rock those hips from side to side. You can lose the resistance band for this next little bit. We are just going to roll onto your other hip for me. We need to do our rectangles on the other side. Slowly making your way all the way back down again. Bending those legs to come into that one clamshell, making sure the hips are stacked. One clamshell, lift the leg out nice and long. Good, lengthening through the bottom side of the waist, lengthening through the front of the hip. Remember, drawing that belly button in, making sure our glute can do all the work here. We start off with some lift and lowers just to warm up this side. Perfect. Not here for too long. Just getting used to the feeling of holding that leg in line with the hip and using that stabilizing muscle of the glutes to lift up, up, up. Last 2, 1, cool mini rest. Good. We meet back with our leg out nice and long. Clamp and then kick. Perfect. In line with the hip to start off with, we lift up, we sweep forward, we drop down, and we sweep back. Good. Tracing that rectangle shape with that big toe. Up, forward, down, and back. Beautiful. Last 2. We lift up, forward, down, back. Last one, up, forward, down, back. Hold that leg out for me if you can, otherwise mini break here. We bend that leg forward, flex the foot to press. Good, bring it forward, flex the foot, press away. Good, imagine you're pressing something really heavy away from you. Nice. And press. Last one, bend forward, flex the foot, press that leg out and away, and relaxing back down. That quick little stretch, hook that heel in front of the knee, relax through the hip first before you lift that knee up and away. Just a quick little stretch. We've got to do our side planks on this side now. So when you're ready, just bringing your forearm down towards the mat, again stacking underneath the shoulder, making sure your heels, your hips and your elbow are in one long line, those knees are out in front of you. We want to press the elbow into the mat, we want to lift the rib cage up and away, then we take all the effort to the hips. We lift the hips up and we press the hips forward. Perfect. You can hold this position again if you like, otherwise you go into 5 little clams. Opening that top hip. Good. 3, 2, 1. And then from here, 3 lift and lower. So you fold at the hips to bring your hips back down onto the mat. We lift up and forward. Good. Folding down and back. Up and forward. Good. Down and back. Beautiful job. Let's come over onto all fours now. Excellent. We're going to go into a bird dog exercise. So before we go there, I just want to take you through some cat-cows. Let's just get a little bit more motion through our spine. So shining the chest forward, lowering the belly, and then pushing that mat away, rounding through the upper back. Nice. Taking any extra movements that you need, rocking from side to side, coming back down so our spine is nice and neutral and flat. I should be able to sit my hot coffee on your tailbone and it won't move. Good. From here, we'll just start off with the arms. So you want to lift one arm forward out in front of you, and then slide that hand back down, shift the weight to that hand nice and seamlessly, lift the other arm up in front of you, press the mat away so that hand can just place right back down onto the mat, okay? So most of my weight is back into my legs, so my hands can be nice and free to move away from the mat. Beautiful. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. So you've got a really wide base of support. Beautiful. If you find you have to shift your weight between your hands too much, you need to shift your weight back over your hips rather than keeping it too far forward into the wrists, okay? Think about drawing the belly button up and away from the mat as well. That'll really help keep that lifted feeling. Nice. Let's try the legs this time, okay? So spread those fingertips nice and wide. We will have to take our center of mass towards the center now, so evenly between the hands and the legs. We're going to slide one leg long out behind you. You can keep the toes onto the mat or you can lift it up, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then slide that knee back underneath. Shift the weight ever so seamlessly, sliding the other leg out nice and long. And place it back down onto the mat. Good. So we're trying to move nice and slowly here. We're thinking more about how stable we can be. We're minimizing our rocking from side to side. Good. Gentle shift with the weight between the knees here. Good. Hopefully you can feel your abdominals working as well as you shift from side to side. Hopefully you feel the stabilizing side kicking a little bit more than the other side. Beautiful. One more each side for me. Good. Lucky last one. Slide and back down. Beautiful. Let's slide one leg out long. See if we can shift our weight and lift the opposite hand out in front of you. Good. From here, we're going to be curling our elbow and our knee to touch. So from here, we round through the spine to create some space underneath us. Then when we slide our leg and our arm away from each other, we straighten our spine again. Good. So we curl and round, and we straighten. Good. Curl and round, and straighten. If you'd like to lift the leg up off the mat this time, go for it. Really squeeze that glute. Lift and straighten. Perfect. Nice. 2 more on this side before we swap. Curl, straighten. Last one. Curl and straighten. Nice. Return the hand and the knee back down onto the mat. Let's go over to the other side. Feel that gentle weight shift. Opposite hand, opposite arm. Let's curl. Good. And reach. Nice. Curl and reach. Perfect. Moving nice and slowly so we can maintain that stable base of support. Good. Curl and reach. Option to lift that leg if you're feeling nice and confident here. Good. Embrace any wobbles that you have. That's why we want to move slow so we can keep it under control. Nice. Straighten the spine. 2 more here. Curl. Straighten. Last one. Big curl. Round that spine. Good. Straighten that spine. And resting back down onto the mat. Beautiful job. Clasp those hands together. Give those wrists a little bit of a roll. Get rid of any cracks that might have come out of them. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come lie down onto our belly now. I'm going to do a little bit more back work with you guys. So really good for our posture. From here, you're going to be keeping your chin tucked in. You're going to be looking down towards your mat the whole time. You can rest your forehead onto the mat. Your head doesn't have to lift during these exercises, okay? I'm going to be lifting mine just so you can hear me better. So, chin's tucked in, forehead's resting down onto the mat, and my arms are out by my side, bent to 90 degrees. From here, I want you to draw the shoulder blades down and back, lift them up and away from the mat, and then lift those elbows and those forearms. So I'm really squeezing my shoulder blades together to lift my hands. From here, we're going to reach above our head, okay? Reach above your head as much as you can, and then draw those elbows back down by your sides. Good. Reach and return. Beautiful. Reach above your head, return. Good. Keep that forehead on the mat if you need. If you want to add a little bit of a back extension, you can lift your head up where I am, making sure you're squeezing your glutes and keeping your legs active to keep your lower body nice and still. Reaching and squeezing. Good. Reaching and squeezing. Nice. Let's go for 3. For 2. Exhale, squeeze. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Relax the hands down. You can even put one cheek onto the mat if you need to. Relax through your legs. Relaxing everything. The next one's going to be a progression. It's just called our breaststroke. So again, bring your forehead onto the mat. We draw the shoulder blades down and back. We lift the hands up. Really similar. What we're going to do is lift the chest this time. Sweep the hands forward so they stack. And then circle them down and around. Really lift the chest as you come down. And then relax. Good. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Lift the arms. Lift the chest if you like. Reach out in front of you. Circle. Now lift the chest. And lower. Good. 3 more just like that, okay? Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Lift the arms. Reach the arms. Circle, lift the chest even more, and lower. And lower. Good. Last one. Roll the shoulder blades back. Lift the hands. Reach the arms. Exhale, circle around. Lift the chest and lower. Well done. Relaxing everything. We are going to go into flight next. So our hands are going to be by our sides, palms face up from here. You can keep your forehead resting down onto the mat, or you can lift the chest. So roll the shoulder blades down and back, lift the hands up and reach for your tippy toes. Squeeze the bottom, keep the legs active. You may even want to lift the legs up off the mat. That's optional, okay? Reaching, lifting the chest if you're there. Otherwise, head rests down. We're just reaching our fingertips. Then from here, we turn our palms to face down and up. Down and up. Good. If you're feeling comfortable, lift the chest. Keep the chin tucked in. So you want to reach the fingertips towards the toes. The shoulder blade is what keeps lifting you up. Good. You might want to lift the legs. We are here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and lower everything down and relax. Beautiful. Kicking it back into a child's pose just whenever you're done. You just want to counteract all the extension work by rounding through the spine. Might want to rock from side to side. Take the knees as wide apart as you need. Beautiful. Slowly bringing yourself up to a seated position. We're going to roll the shoulder blades. Nicely done. Come forward with the shoulders. Excellent. Quick little stretch to finish off with. You're going to bring your legs back to that roll back position. We're going to grip our hands underneath our knees, or underneath our thighs here. And then we're going to push back into what's called an armchair stretch. So we're going to round through our spine, scoop our belly like our roll backs, but our hands are going to stop us and stretch through our shoulder blades. Keep that chin tucked in as much as you can. Trying to round that spine. Inhale to relax, straighten the spine, lift the chest. And pull back one more time. Exhale, scoop, round, pull back against the legs. Good. And relaxing, nicely done. Thank you for joining me onto your mat today. You are all finished. I hope you enjoyed that class, and I will see you next time.